Hi, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the GASOCast. It's a really busy week around the state of Texas for hoops. We got Thompson, Texas Next Gen wrap up that we're about to do. We got the state tournament this weekend. We're all going to be down there, and another event in Buda this Sunday. But let's just kick things off here, or tip things off here, as Sam Lowe would make me say. To get started with a big thought on the weekend, Mass, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, tons of energy. Everyone competed. We had Cerebro come out, the event. We have this leaderboard. It's really cool to see kind of the analytics back up kind of what we're seeing. And just a really, really fun event. A lot of bright futures ahead in the state of Texas.
Yeah, Blue?
When you look back to the history of Thompson, Texas, and adding the next gen, this is one of the better ones over the last several years of just talent that came out to perform. And we have a lot of content that's already been out. You have this content and even more, as I'm going to share my thoughts also on Twitter. It's just going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into the content as we move forward here. We're talking bright future. Some of the programs, teams that had multiple players come out to this event and that we saw. And I'll just go ahead and start because the freshmen at LD Bell, Keon Williams and Roman Washington, both of those dudes were nonstop bucket getters the entire time, hitting threes, being shifty, getting to the rim. It's kind of that more open style game. Really benefited them as they were able to take it from the rebound and go all the way and go get elevate and go finish at the rim. Was really impressed with what I saw for that pair of freshmen. And one of them was LD Bell's second leading scorer this year. So the future is bright for those two kids right there.
Absolutely. I'll hop in here with the Southlake duo. You got Jackson Lawson and Christian O'Connor. Jack was actually the number one ranked analytic kid by Cerebro Sports at our event. Yeah, scoring something like 24, 25 points a game, shooting the ball at a ridiculous, I think, over 50% clip from deep. Really fun to watch. Christian O'Connor, man, you don't want to guard that guy. He's always moving. Seems just miserable to guard. And showing off the handles, breaking guys down, he's going to have to take more of this, guard role as Carter Ruck departs and goes to Trinity. So future's bright at Southlake. Enjoyed watching those two this weekend. And Christian was also a top 20 performer, right. I think, statistically as well.
Yeah, when you look at Grapevine Faith from this past year, they're losing a lot of seniors. And so who's going to step up? We've already, I got a little insight. The guard play of Landon Harlan is going to be very crucial for Grapevine moving forward. With alongside Jackson Pierce, who's just a guy that just goes inside and out. I mean, he's got that. He had the blonde hair and out there cheering on his own team. He was.
Love the energy.
I heard him call out each and every teammate. He made it a relationship thing, and I love that. And he's clapping and cheering when he's on the bench. Perfect. And then you have Max Seibert. That guy's a little jitterbug out there. Just
bucket getter.
He's gonna shoot all those open shots that he gets, and that's what Matt Saman likes about his teams. We're, I guess, a little bit on him if we're projecting he will eventually be on that varsity squad as he looks to fit in.
Yeah. So now moving on to our lightning round, we're just going to hit on some players in different classes that we saw and we really thought stood out. Mass, Jackson Reagan, Dripping Springs, really a kid that I hadn't seen much of before, but really popped at our event on Sunday.
Yeah, he's a really polished player. He's about 6'7". He starts the day off by hitting a corner three, and then he gets the ball inside, uses his shoulder, little kind of baby hook, finishing around the rim, real active on the boards, great hands, great feet, really fun to watch.
Yeah. Blue, a guy who we've really liked this year, especially stepping into that role at Denton. Carter Eddy, what do you see from him?
Oh, I see a lot of length and skill, the way he can get separation, hit the three. If he's not knocking down a shot, he goes inside, he'll go rebound, start the break. Just all kinds of tools that he has. Really becoming a big fan of his.
Yeah, and for me, Trenton Thomas, it's been a constant. Every time I've seen him, this kid hits shots with range. He gets to the rim. He's just one of the consummate 3-and-D type of guard who I really think has a home at the next level.
Yeah, I'll hop in here. Arhan Lapswala. Saw him at Coppell. I hope I said your name right. Saw him early in the season just making three after three after three. Really, really fun player, and it was more of the same. You have to kind of assert yourself at these kind of open events, and he did that. Every time he caught it and he was open, he was letting it fly. Didn't matter from where on the floor. I mean, it could have been in the parking lot. And this guy was dropping bombs all day.
Yeah, Blue with Matt Alexander out of Lake Ridge. I know that you were talking a lot about him on Sunday. What did you see there?
First thing I wrote, maybe the first three things I wrote down was athleticism. I mean, he was going up, he was rebounding, he was starting to break, he was dishing the ball out, just kind of doing everything out there in that open setting of a camp. He showed that he wasn't just going to be a one-trick guy, that he was just not going to just go look to score. He was doing a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, and I'll wrap things up with the 24s here with Jace Jeffries from Concordia Lutheran, the one Houston kid that we had make the trip up to DFW this weekend, and he put on a good representation for the city because he was all over the place, getting to the rim, making the smart pass. You know, he's just one of those kids, plays within himself, but knows how to be productive in this type of open setting like we're talking about. So I really like what I saw from him. Moving on to 25, some of the top sophomores, and a guy who we really like, Master Corian Ose.
Yes.
I mean, he just gets it done no matter what position he's in.
Yeah, with my coaching background, I always emphasize if we could space the floor, you can make a lot happen. And then you throw in the fact that Jacorian can not only space the floor, but he can rebound. I mean, like a dominant rebounder. Saw him again also at the Coppell tournament early in the season, and he was very, very good there, very, very productive. And then he came out and he just belonged, hit shots all day long. I think he was like our 10th ranked player by
Top
Cerebro, and he's a name you're going to want to know about. Jacorian Ose from Tyler Legacy.
Yeah, Blue. I mean, we got 3 Waco University kids, and all 3 of them scored well and did impressive things in front of us.
Yes, and for these this trio here, you had 2 25s and then one of the 2026s that I'm going to throw in right here just to lump them all together. Waco U, Adam Sace, very shifty, created a lot of just space between him and his defender, shot the ball very well, even got to the rim at 5'8" and just go finish. Keandre Brooks is another guy that was able just to kind of jet up the court and kind of survey and hit cracks and get to the rim and hit some threes and got his teammates involved. And then just a big, strong, bodied kid with Justin Neal, kind of get a little change of pace with those other two.
Yeah.
That the toughness, the ability to go in there and rebound, put backs, defend. Really nice trio.
Yeah. And for me, Jackson Kachalka, I'm always looking for the kid who can kind of grab the game by the scruff of the neck in that opening 4 minutes before the first rotation of subs come out. And this kid did exactly that in the first game of the day because catches it on the wing, knocks down a 3. Next time, shot fake, step back, hits another 3. Right after that, his dad walks up and is like, "Hey, where can we get the film for this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wonder whose dad that is," because I mean he was just all over the place, knocking down shots. A lot to like about his game, but that shooting was deadly. So now to the freshmen for our next gen. We're looking at some of the best freshmen in the state that have produced at the varsity level already. And Parker Scott for Richardson, we saw him get some minutes this year for Richardson.
Yeah, he did. He got some minutes, and as freshmen, kind of they feel their way through a varsity season. And Richardson's a really competitive program, obviously, in a really tough district. But anytime there's a freshman on varsity at a program like that, you got to pay attention. And I didn't even know he was from Richardson. I was watching him play. I was like, that kid could play. He had some nice feel, really passed the ball, get into the lane, made some plays. And I actually had a conversation with him. I was like, Richardson, and he was like, yeah. I was like, I don't think I saw you play at the game I was at personally. He was like, no, I didn't get in the game that one, but I promise I was on varsity. I was like, I believe you. You can hoop, man. So the future's bright again at Richardson. They keep turning them out.
Yeah, and one of the kids that we identified actually back in the fall was Sawyer Dotson with Azel. What'd you see out of him, Blue?
Well, I don't know how he felt. I think that he thought a little bit that he didn't do as well. But he did. Looking at him run the floor, being able to drop the 3. He's getting rebounds. He's looking up court, and he's hitting outlet passes. He did a great job. That's what, for the next gen, this guy is going to be really good. And he has the size and even the IQ that he's going to need at the next level. And just even being one of the main focal points now at Azel is going to really give him more experience.
Yeah, and feeding things back into what Cerebro brings to the table, we're looking at that CRAM score for the first. It's basically a win share of making productive plays. So when you have 2 kids on the same team who finish in the top 15 or so.
was top 8,
Top
actually.
8.
Yeah.
So the Almatar twins out of Grapevine. We've talked a lot about them, and for good reason, because they're just scratching the surface, I feel like, because they made some high-level skill shots. I mean, the 1-foot fadeaways, the catching and shooting over a hand from 3. I mean, everybody wants to talk about their production and their toughness and grit on the defensive end, but I'm telling you, there's something beyond what you're seeing right now with their ability to make shots and just be somebody who you want on your team every time you step onto the court.
Yep.
So let's go on and talk about some of the 8th graders, the 2027s, the real next gens that we haven't seen before. And Chris Hunt.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. he must have had 60 points in the first 2 games.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard eval because this kid, smooth lefty, getting wherever he wants, looks so natural scoring the ball. I saw him hit shots from deep. I saw him hit shots from the mid-range. I saw him get to the paint. I saw him in transition. He just scored so easily. And, it's kind of one of those I could just put my pen down and say, like, yeah, I'm just kind of want to enjoy this right now. He's going to be a stud. He's at Kinnemer right now, which feeds into Duncanville, which they've had some success. So, not a bad fit there.
Yeah, Caden Shelton, the kid that we both kind of looked at each other and said, okay, this got a little something to him.
Yeah, even when we're putting together our notes right now for the GASOcast, I threw his name out, and then both of y'all immediately like, good one. Like, that's the guy we're going to hit on. And he's over there with at Richland Middle School. He's going to go be with Danny Henderson next year. Man, this kid, he's got a lot of goods. He's able to shoot the 3. He's able to attack, handle pressure, do some really good rebounder for a guard. And these guys these 3, they're just scratching the surface. Yeah. Their maturity level is going to continue to grow.
And there were a lot of them.
Yeah, there were.
It wasn't just these 3.
We could go on.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have like 40 of them in Buda.
Yeah. Should be fun.
So I'll wrap things up here with talking about Isaac Hayes because, just
you have to.
You do. And you hear a lot about the kid. I mean, I hadn't gone down there and seen any of the Summer Creek games this season, but I mean, good as advertised, if not better. I mean, he was everywhere, getting whatever shots he wanted, making plays. He's not just a go out there, roll the ball out, and go score. He's making passes. I think he had 10 assists in one game, and just was able to play at this. He's playing against 24s out there on the same court as him, and he's looking like he belongs. If not, he's the best player out there. I mean, so with him and with Beckham Black, I mean,
skill, size, sky's the limit for those guys.
Me and Michael went out there to Duncanville's middle school showcase, and it just kind of fed on top of what we saw there because he's just got the ultimate for an 8th grader to have that kind of feel, that kind of passing vision whenever he knows where his guy should be when he gets into the lane, wherever that second defender comes. I mean, the sky's the limit for a kid like that because, once upon a time Anthony was that size too, and so if he catches that growth spurt, I mean, it's going to be something else. Yeah. So that's going to do it for this edition of the GASOcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back soon for some state tournament preview stuff.